adofo ye bedo bibi ase na yasanso am bibi akwa basonko wo Nkasa TV eso ena ni de kan awkoso so ehwe Nkasa TV amokoso asere so be subscribe obe like no asanso ahye me ma ran Facebook mi odoma no so ye de betuma ahwo so nya bi ahwe ni meden etie kasebo na du ham ne ba besun woni yesem de ne mo hwifa ko kasebo ne mu sim ne mu a na ye de mu wrem o ye the International Monetary Fund mo no mo wo ye United States of America na mo ye agency bi a je se mo wo amanfo bi a je se ho kire wo no mo peye sika bi abo mo ho adwa a mo ko bosia na mo de ani on pese mo de ye nyame adom no mo nya sika na no matua enomu ana Ghana is a registered country edema ye IMF can say International Monetary Fund na sika twitwe bi a kwakwaje wo IMF o anene omde nsem bi ba betu adwa osenti no omo country a omo pe ntropa Ghana ade nti a se ne yema mpani John Dramani Mahama begina ho ebe kan sempa o de gi sika ene se obetua na ye din no propaganda Ghana de pa ye hwe ne enjai ebusuafo ye nsembre no yekoti nsem no mo akire mu.
Situation is something that is well known. Ghana's problems are well known. I think perhaps it would be important for government to clearly come up with a plan on how these debts are going to be resettled. But these are not things that these are not discussions you have in the public. So I wish that it was taking place, the discussions were taking place behind I think if the U.S. ambassador is concerned about its impact on investors, I think it's actually her approach that will actually become investors more, because she's the one who is bringing this up too much into the public domain and making it a topic of discussion. Having this discussion with the media will not necessarily be the one that will bring the solution of the payment.
Right.
I think raising this with the government and then getting the government to come up with a clear plan for paying these debts will probably be how.
Right. With respect to the conversations in the media, we know that in January of this year, it was reported quite widely, this letter which was written by the U.S. Senator asking that the third tranche, which was expected to be disbursed to the country, be used to settle these debts. And so already that's been out in the open. The concern that could come from there is that if that was widely reported and 2 months on, it does appear there's still that sentiment being shared from the U.S. government where the ambassador expresses a bit of concern on that side. We should be expecting a bit more action from our government, considering U.S. support is quite important in all of our IMF dealings.
Well, you have to understand that the IMF program, government has signed on a specific program, and the funds are designed for specific purposes. Paying debt owed to American companies is not one of them. That's not to say the government of Ghana should not be paying it. The government of Ghana should be paying it, and the government of Ghana should be more responsible than allowing that to move to the extent that we have these public discussions. I'm just saying that that first approach of trying to say the fund disbursement from the IMF should be used to pay American companies, I don't think that's not really a right understanding of what the program is about. That said, I have no idea what, the first time this came up, don't forget that the government is not even 3 months, and the government is still being formed. There are still some positions that have not been shown yet. And I think having raised it the first time, perhaps, the government should have been given a little bit more time to settle in. And then perhaps the U.S. ambassador could have raised it with the finance minister or, the president or the vice or anybody, so that they begin to see specific plans for how these debts are going to be paid. For me, that would be a more effective way, without bringing all the attention that comes with it. That's what society should be there for.
But even away from the conversations of the IMF, there's that concern about foreign direct investment coming through for us as a country, where we are, the situation we are in, where we continue to appeal for a lot more business interests to settle in. The argument being made is that when we continue to owe these companies, not just US companies, but companies from elsewhere money, then we're not doing ourselves good in terms of the imagery that businesses will come here.
Viewers, I'm totally shocked by this development. This is the campaign that we just ran in Ghana, where the National Democratic Congress was campaigning about corruption and anti-corruption. As it is with every election, corruption is always on the center. What is shocking me is some of these individuals. Look at this, what appears to be almost quote-unquote robbery of the taxpayer. Members of Parliament, now the NDC, have taken this to Parliament because for a reason. Did I say because for a reason? Yes, they've taken this to Parliament because of a reason. What is the reason? The reason, as we have been told, is that there's concern from the 188 members of Parliament of the NDC who did not secure ministerial positions. They are not likely to secure board positions. They are not securing deputy ministerial positions, and therefore they don't have any executive authority where they have the power of the pen to sign signature and also the budget to run with. And so they feel that there will be pressure on them from their constituents, given that everyone knows that they are members of the ruling party, and they may lose their primaries. So, as it has been said to us, it appears that there's a plan from the Ministry of Finance to make sure that, and viewers, listen to this. This is what we have been told. We hope that is not true, but it looks like many people believe it. We just hope that it's not. It's just too bad to be true, but we just hope that it's not true. But everyone who tells us believes it. Now, the story is that the NDC at the Ministry of Finance level is telling the MPs that when we bring things to finance Parliament, please vote for it. Because there's a consternations going on from the backbenchers that will teach the NDC a lesson. They won't give us anything. We'll teach them a lesson. When they bring a bill, we'll fail. We'll make sure the bill fails. And they have the numbers to do so. So upon this, what looks like a pseudo threat, the Ministry of Finance and the NDC and the Ministry of Finance have decided that every quarter they will make sure that there's some paperwork, some process to give every member of Parliament, hear this viewers, 400,000 cedis of the taxpayers' money every quarter. This is what we just hope that is not true. Now, this is how they started. They said Akufo-Addo was a thief, that Akufo-Addo was corrupt, Akufo-Addo was this. For the 8 years that Akufo-Addo was president, did you ever hear him go to Parliament and say, pay parliamentarians 200,000 cedis to do a Get Fund project, and on top of that, pay them 150,000 cedis to supervise the project? Akufo-Addo was using Get Fund proceeds to educate people, including Justice ssreak Oh, the Deputy Attorney General. Let me say it again. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former president of Ghana, was using the Get Fund resources to educate Ghanaians from all walks of life. Whether you are blue, you are red, you are Akan, you are Gan, you are Mosi, you are Dagomba, you are Mamprusi, you are Kusasi, you are Sisala. Akufo-Addo was using Get Fund money to educate Ghanaians abroad, including Justice ssreak Oh, who is today the Deputy Attorney General. That's what Akufo-Addo was doing with Get Fund money. Guess what the NDC, who don't like corruption, who said Akufo-Addo is a thief, is doing with Get Fund money? They are paying 250,000 cedis to MPs, members of Parliament, 250,000 cedis, that they should take the money and do a project, daycare center, library. Then they are giving them 150,000 cedis